Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Oh, goodness. Can't believe I even have this Pistons bobblehead right in front of me. 25 straight losses last night.
I think you gotta take it just...
Well, you know what? I'm going to keep this one. This is Cade. I'm going to keep Cade. He can stay.
He can stay.
But any other bobblehead, yes, I'm throwing it at the wall. 25 straight losses for the Pistons last night. You know who they have the next 3 games?
It's not good.
Brooklyn, Boston, Toronto. Guys, this might get to 30. Like, this is 40. Bad. 40, 50 280. Why not? This is bad. And we have some footage here, and this is courtesy of, I want to make sure I give credit on this, Duncan Smith. He posted this yesterday on X. And KG, you could play it. Here's the crowd last night at LCA. Look at it. Sell the team. Chanting, sell the team. And it wasn't just sell the team, Kool-Aid. And you were there. I want to get your input on that. But, of course, Jeff Iafrate, Sam Flannel, Detroit Kool-Aid, and KG hanging with you guys on the Morning Woodward Show. But it was more than just sell the team. It was fire Monty, fire Troy. It was just... And I honestly, I feel for them because I'm just as pissed off. At this point, I don't think Tom Gores has a choice. You have to speak up. This is bad. Like, it's getting to DEFCON like 15, we'll just call it.
Yeah, look, man, you know, I got my own thoughts and feelings and opinions on it that I know sometimes will go against what some of the other fans think. But overall, obviously with each loss that piles up and how hapless the team looks, it's not just the losses, it's how they look. Like, they're not even trying hard. They're not hustling in the most crucial parts of the game. There's nothing defendable. There's nothing that you could say, hey, you know what, wait around and see this. Hey, wait around for them to complete their plan or anything of that nature. It's to a point now where when the fans are this kind of put off, when the fans are put in this type of position and they're showing up, like I keep telling you guys, you're seeing fans in this building and they are loud, even if it's not packed. You got to do something good by them. And sometimes that means heads got to roll. That's just the reality of it. You know, I will continue to say this. I believe that if Troy Weaver was allowed to cook, was able to go in there and bring in his coaches, able to go in there and approve his moves, he's not. You know, we talked about it. He doesn't have the president of basketball operations title. But at this point in time, it's getting to the point where I don't think any of that matters, because if they're not going to let him cook, then why have him here anyway? Yeah,
I think there's more dysfunction in that front office, Sam, than I think people even know. Like, the Utah Jazz were missing 4 of their top 6 scorers. They're missing their top 2 scorers, but 4 of their top 6.
And 8 players overall.
And the Utah Jazz said, hey, guys, a lot of you guys are just going to sit this one out, and you're going to beat the Pistons anyway. It's embarrassing.
Kelly Olynyk revenge game, bro.
And you had Kelly Olynyk revenge game.
You had the Kelly Olynyk revenge game and the Ochai Agbaji legacy game at this point. Here's the reality. A team like the Detroit Pistons with some players that we like, that they obviously have some talent. They should beat a Utah Jazz team just missing Lauri Markkanen, but it wasn't just him. It was Jordan Clarkson. It was 4 of their top 6 players. And the Utah Jazz pretty much controlled the game throughout. And if it wasn't for like a garbage time 3, they would have won that game by double digits. I don't see a single pathway to the Detroit Pistons not being the worst team in NBA history this year. You can't look at any game, even when they have their home game in early January against the San Antonio Spurs. I am never picking this Detroit Pistons team to win again. We talk about 2-80 and kind of go like, ha-ha, tee-hee, whatever. But if they can't beat Washington at home, if they can't beat Memphis without Ja Morant, if they can't beat Utah without 4 of their top 6 players, including Lauri Markkanen, who the hell are they going to beat? I mean, the San Antonio Spurs even, they've got Wemby, they've got Devin Vassell, they've got more, I would say, players who are contributing right now, and I think they're more talented and better than the Detroit Pistons right now. It just feels kind of hopeless at this point. It's just been many years of just
and how poetic. Pistons lose their 25th straight game, and the Lions can lock up the NFC North this weekend. and they're competing for the number 2 seed in their conference.
Well, thank goodness.
Just think about how poetic that is. From where these franchises were. Like, typically it would be reversed.
Yeah, it's the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it is the Twilight Zone, KG. Like that, I don't know. This is, at least we have the Lions. Can't believe I'm saying that. But at least we have the Lions. And Tailgate Wins chiming in. Appreciate you, Nick, for tuning in.
Nick.
He says, disgrace to the city of Detroit. Embarrassed that these are our Pistons. And Mr. Ray says Utah was coming off back-to-back 3 games in 4 days.
Damn.
Oh, my
Yep.
God.
That's what I was telling y'all, man. And it was funny, man, because I was talking to Griff. You know, he's a big Pistons fan. He had some high hopes for them at the beginning of the season. He thought that they were going to win last night. I think he bet them straight up. And I told him, I was like, man, they got the recipe to win, but this is the recipe for them to lose.
Yeah.
John Collins, Kelly Olynyk, and Sexton, these have been the types of mixtures that have beat them all year, and it's not even starters like Sam was saying. When it gets to that point is when I believe some type of change has to take place, because they're not going out there and competing. They're not going out there. You could tell the moment. You could tell the moment they're going to lose this game. They started to sulk. They started to press. Then they started to just kind of walk. They weren't going out there and giving it their all down the stretch. And that, to me, I don't think that's necessarily an indictment on those players. I think it's an indictment on everything going on above their heads, man, from coaching all the way up to the front office and even above them. And it's sad because this thing got off to such a good, promising start. They got some good young players. You can ask the professionals in the NBA world who cover this thing. You can ask NBA players. You can ask former players. They'll tell you it's a decent young core. But what they got going on right now to dress around them and to make sure they're properly taken care of, I think that they're being let down.
It's too many cooks in the kitchen, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It's way too many. Like that, there's too many guys that are making decisions. Like that is a dysfunctional franchise. Like Donovan Strong, Arndt Elam has been in the front office since 2015. Ed Stefanski's been in the office since 2018. They should be the first ones fired. You're telling me there's multiple guys that are all together making these types of decisions. That's not how a professional organization's run. It should be one guy making decisions, and that's it.
That's what we keep saying.
And there's others there to support his decisions. It seems like it's Troy making a decision, but then Ed has to approve it, but Arn has to approve it as well. And then if Arn has an idea, then Troy has to listen to him. Fuck that. Like that's dysfunctional. And that falls on Tom, dude. It's leadership. This is how you are allowing it to be run. So yeah, it's dysfunctional as hell. And that's not a recipe. I don't give a damn who's on the court. That's dysfunctional. And then Monty Williams just walks right into this mess.
and it's almost as if, they had to pry him into this mess. This is where I really, really wish Troy Weaver, we went into this coaching search saying he's finally going to be able to go and get his guy to coach his players. And he didn't even get that opportunity. And when you kind of see the dysfunction at the Monty Williams press conference where, Tom Gores puts out there, we were yelling at each other. This wasn't an easy decision. I know that Troy was in the middle of a coaching search, but we need to go get the best. It's like sometimes the best is not really the best. Monty Williams is a guy who throughout his career, he has helped younger players develop, but it's always been with a veteran-laden team. That's why they went and they got CP3 with Phoenix Suns. So it's like, though he's a good coach, he might not have been necessarily the guy cut out to deal with a bunch of young players who realistically, like some people have said, should probably still be in college to a degree. You got to go out there and get a coach that can speak their language, that can yell on their level. You got to go out there and get something like that. And I think that's what he was looking at in Kevin Ali and Charles Lee and some of these other candidates that had popped up. This is a situation where I really, really wish they would have given Troy Weaver, the president of basketball operations, like we saw Joe Dumars have, like we saw Stan Van Gundy have. Like, this is a situation where when he was hired, I remember Omari Sankofa's article, and now it just rings even more loud in my ears when it said, hey, Troy Weaver's a new GM. Because remember, for a year or two, we were like, the Pistons don't have a GM? Who is Ed Stefanski? And they just would refuse to put a title. And when they brought Troy in, the article made sure to make mention that Ed Stefanski and Troy Weaver are basically Ed Stefanski and Arndt Elam are basically being put in positions above Troy Weaver.
Yeah, that's
just not good.
And here's the problem. See, everyone's like, fire Troy Weaver. Okay, fire him. Guess who's still there? Arndt Elam and Ed Stefanski.
That's the point.
So the dysfunction is still there.
I would rather see Troy Weaver, honestly, at this point in time, because what GM is going to come in and not demand the president of basketball operations after seeing what happened to Troy, who came from a pretty positive situation. Sam Presti is not just out here bumping his gums and lying on Troy Weaver when he said he had a lot to do with a lot of our success throughout the years. I believe that Troy Weaver has proven more before the Pistons than what Ed Stefanski has proven on that same kind of level. He got broomed out of Philly just before that. That's the reason why they started the process. When you think about when they started the process, Ed Stefanski was there just before, and he fumbled things. And I'm telling him, Agent Supreme, that does not mean he knows what he's doing as it relates to running a basketball team. But Troy Weaver has been associated with successful front office, successful NBA basketball from the front office perspective. I would have much rather have seen him, if you're going to go and get a big fish like that, like they spun it, let that man cook. Now you're in a position to where if you get rid of him, who's going to want to come in and be underneath Ed and Arn?
Right.
Who's going to want that?
There's too many cooks in the kitchen. It's a problem. Even if they'd have to, if you're going to fire Troy, you better clear the entire front office out. Like, I don't want anyone lingering. You could fire Troy, he'll be the fall guy, but there's still other guys in there that are making decisions just like Troy. And that's a problem. Yep. So that's on Tom, man. He's got to speak up, Sam. Bro, I don't think at this point he has a choice.
Even Tom Gore's going and forcing to hire Ermanni Williams. What did that wind up doing? All of a sudden you get these rumors out there that Monty Williams is not necessarily playing the guys that Troy Weaver brought in. That effectively means now Troy Weaver is like fifth on the totem pole. There's going to be Tom, there's Arn, there's Ed, then Monty Williams, who's hired directly by the ownership group, and then Troy Weaver, who effectively has to answer to all of them.
I mean, it took like half the season to start Ivy. I mean, what are we doing? There's another part of that, too.
I don't think that happens if Troy Weaver is president of basketball operations.
Yeah, he's like, you start Ivy.
He'll tell him, you start him. Yeah. This is what he's here for. And it's this is a bad punchline, man, to a very, very bad joke. It really is, because you saw fans continue to show up. We saw fans continue to be honestly excited for what this hope could be. And right now,
it's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
And it was never supposed to be this bad.
No, it wasn't. And I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. Like, this is a problem. And unless someone, I compared it to the Lakers. The Lakers have a dysfunctional organization, and it seems like it's a family-operated environment. We all love each other, and we're all friends, and we have fun. That's what it seems like. But you know what saved the Lakers? LeBron James. He came there and he won took him it was in the bubble. You can make fun of all you want, but he brought success to that organization because they didn't have it as of late. And he's able to kind of hide a lot of that dysfunction. You don't got no LeBron coming here.
Are you saying we're supposed to sell out and trade for LeBron?
Yeah, there ain't nothing coming to save this team, Sam. So the dysfunction is even more obvious. Like, there's no success coming. They're screwed.
Well, the Detroit Pistons, let's just not get it twisted. They are going to set the record for the longest losing streak an NBA team has ever had.
But they need four more?
Yeah, they're going to have at the very best a 30-game losing streak. I think that's a foregone conclusion at this point.
40.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, I think that is very much in play, and that means that they are going to finish this season with single-digit wins. I believe that now more than ever, especially after having witnessed that game, them losing to the Utah Jazz. And the way that the front office seems to work, and Kool-Aid, you've opened my eyes to a lot of it, and I trust you because you're in the building. It just seems very, very Mickey Mouse. It seems old boys club. It seems very unprofessional, and I don't know if I see that kind of structure just changing overnight. At this point, especially with how bad this season is going and how bad even it looks like in the future and towards subsequent seasons, because a lot of the draft picks right now, a lot of the first round draft picks are playing and have played the whole year, and it still looks bad. They might as well just clean house completely at this point. Sell the team, fire everyone, and I don't. It sucks. Nobody wants to start over, but this rebuild has seemed to go in reverse. They're winning less games every single year. Actually, that is pretty much true. I think it went from 20 to 23 to 17, and now to probably 7, 8, 9.
Did you see that? You were doing Sound Free and E, right, when Ryan put up that graphic?
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly,
it was Orlando, Houston.
The only hope, bro,
yeah,
is the fact that their start over is really just starting where they're at right now. The only thing they have to their cap right now is the fact that they have decent young core. They got the cap space. There's no long-term contracts on the books. So if they do want to go and at least clean out that front office and bring somebody else in there, at least it's being done for them with a clean slate and something to work with, rather than really the junk that Troy Weaver walked into as well. They tried to get Troy Weaver a year prior. a year before he got here, and he said, I'm not coming there with those books looking like that. Every GM in the world would have done the same thing if this team was constructed just as poorly. And it's like, this is a pivotal time for the Detroit Pistons. They can't mess this up, or else they're going to send this thing into a whole nother decade and a half of putrid basketball where they're just doing things to try and satisfy a few wins here and there. And I just don't want to see that type of basketball. They had an opportunity to go and bring longevity of winning, like on the back of some really good players, man. Like this, good young players. This is sad, man.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, Donovan Strong, he comments here, no NBA GM has to answer to 3 people before they make decisions. And he's going to end up being the fall guy. Troy Weaver's going to be, if he doesn't make any significant moves, which, again, he has to run by Arn Tellem and Ed Stefanski and get their approval. If he can't make any significant moves, he's going to be fired. And they're going to keep Ed Stefanski and Arn Tellem. And this thing's just going to keep repeating. Like, any GM they bring in, those two are still going to be involved. Like, that's a problem.
Here's the big question for all of you to sort of just wrap this up in a shit bow. So, what happens first? All of ours taking our girls on our Valentine's Day date, or the Pistons winning a game? What happens first?
I like the first one.
Valentine's.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. Yeah.
At this point,
I'm down.
when could we expect a win?
Bro, they've drained all the Kool-Aid out of me.
Yeah, no more Kool-Aid for Detroit Kool-Aid. All right, let's head to break here. We come back. That's all the Pistons are getting today. All right, we're moving on. Let's start breaking down this game over the weekend here. I'm excited. Lions have an opportunity to lock up the NFC North first time in my lifetime. Now, last time they won a division, it was past when I was born, but still it was called a different division. The NFC North, this will be the first time ever the Lions have won this division. And it's time we start getting in the mood for it. I might even answer phone calls later. We might take some phone calls because I do want people's just thoughts on that. The fact that they're going to lock up the NFC North, and this is significant. And no other team would celebrate this as hard as we're going to because it is significant. So maybe later in the show we'll take some phone calls. But right now we're going to head to break. We got to hear about our friends from Hamlin Pub, and let me do that for you. Have you ever wanted to be at a bar where you're known as a regular? Well, we have just a place for you. Whether enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials, available all through Michigan sporting events and NFL games. Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live every home game for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market and Shed number 5, and it is always a bash starting at 9:30 a.m. until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, and entertainment all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on IG, and direct message Lions VIP.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I want to read some of these comments because people are chiming in here. And there was a specific comment that I think I want to read. Eduardo, actually, Jeff Brown's fans would celebrate harder, he's saying, because they haven't won a division since '89. Jesus. Okay, you know what? That's the exception, Eduardo. Browns fans. But other than that, this is a very, very special weekend because the Lions have an opportunity to win and lock up the NFC North and lock up a playoff spot. Now, Benji says, we missed Stafford talk over Pistons talk. Yeah, last night, man, that Rams team, I'm telling you, they're heating up at the right time for them.
Yes.
Puka Nacua should be Offensive Rookie of the Year if it's not Stroud.
Oh, yeah.
He was open every play. He's an incredible player. And I did lose some money. And the only reason why I lost was a 7-leg parlay, and I missed it by 2 yards from Cooper Kupp. He had 52. I needed over 53.5.
He got a couple of drops, too, didn't he? Oh.
Yeah. I missed out on like $100-something. So I thought Stafford was going to win me some money there, but he didn't, so screw you, Stafford, even though I love you. But regardless, yeah, we'll save that for another time. Rams look good. Yeah. You know what? That's a script I think the NFL is writing right now.
Yes,
Rams,
I promise you.
At Lions, it
writes itself, man.
It does write itself. Let's get into it, though. Lions, Vikings, breakdown. How do you see this game playing out? At least for me, we talked a lot about it yesterday, and I have a very similar take because I'm going to stay consistent here. At least defensively for the Vikings, that's where a lot of my concern goes because Brian Flores. I think Jared Goff against Brian Flores, his stats aren't great. And that's not just Jared. I think most offenses against Brian Flores usually don't look great. Brian Flores is a hell of a defensive mind. He is. He likes to blitz. And here's the thing. If someone likes to blitz, Sam, that leaves opportunity for guys to get yak and make big plays. And you have guys like Jahmyr Gibbs out the backfield, Jamison Williams, who's great in space, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, who's also great in space. So this is an opportunity for these playmakers to make plays. And now Danielle Hunter is on the other side of that. So you have a tall task for Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell because those guys are going to have to play at a high level. More so Taylor because Penei's played at a high level all year. Taylor Decker is going to have to step up. But this offensive line, and I believe it was Birchfield that tweeted this out, but this Lions offense, with their offensive line healthy and when they're not, it's night and day. So they're healthy. At least we have that going for him. Penei Sewell was on the injury report, got scared. He practiced yesterday, so that's good. He's back. Yeah, I was nervous there. Yeah. But regardless, the defense for the Vikings is where I go. Because I think Nick Mullins, and I don't even know if we deserve to do this because we've seen, everyone remembers the Matt Flynn game. We remember things like that. But Nick Mullins will give you the football. So as long as this Lions defense kind of keeps up what they've been doing and they're generating pressure and they're turning the ball over, they're getting the ball back. Even with the playmakers, they're going to get a bunch of yards. I get that. They got Addison, they got Justin Jefferson, they got T.J. Hockenson. They're going to be able to get the ball to him. I get that. But if you can pressure him and you can create turnovers, the defense I think will kind of figure it out. But the strength of the Lions is their offense, and you're facing a damn good opportunistic defense that can get after the quarterback. So for me, this goes back to what they did last week and what they've been doing since this offensive line's been back, Sam, and they got to run the football. The Vikings passing defense isn't elite, but they do a good job of pressuring the quarterback and blitzing. So they kind of hide their questionable secondary. So to me, Sam, what I'm keying in on, it goes back to that turnover battle. Got to have another clean game from this offense. Yeah, you start with Jared, but it's not just Jared. No fumbles. They got to take care of the football. You can't give a guy like Nick Mullins a short field. You just can't with those playmakers.
Sure. Yes, and all of that you say is true. I am going to key in on what I think is one of the biggest matchups of the game, and that is the Lions offense versus the Vikings defense. A Vikings defense which has much improved this season under the leadership of Brian Flores, whereas last year they were one of the worst in the league. This year, by the numbers, the Vikings have been one of the best defenses in the league. They are 6th in scoring defense, 5th in rushing defense, but they haven't faced very many offenses like this Detroit Lions team.
That's
they
fair.
faced the Eagles early on in the season. They gave up a lot of points and they lost. And the Vikings, they also one of the other offenses they played. They did play the 49ers at one point in the year. The 49ers team that was missing Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, but the 49ers still had Brock Purdy, they still had Christian McCaffrey, they still had George Kittle, and they still had Brandon Ayuk. And the Minnesota Vikings actually played their best game of the season against these San Francisco 49ers, and they held Brock Purdy to probably his worst game of the season. Brock Purdy had a touchdown and 2 picks in that game. So in that regard, the Minnesota Vikings, when they've played these like top tier teams, they've had a mixed bag of success. But that game against the San Francisco 49ers was absolutely spectacular. But this is a Detroit Lions offense which is fully healthy. Their offensive line is intact. Their backfield is intact, where each of them have missed a couple of games at some point this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown is healthy. Jared Goff is healthy. Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams is back after missing the first 4 games of the season due to suspension. And I think that this Lions offense has the advantage over the Vikings defense. I think they'll be able to run the football. I think they will be able to throw the football, but the tackles have to block DJ Wanham and Danielle Hunter, who have combined this season for 23.5 sacks, with Danielle Hunter having 15.5 of them. And I think that Penei Sewell could handle Danielle Hunter just fine, at least most of the time. The guy I worry about a little bit is Taylor Decker, who has had some injury concerns early on in the year and a bout of poor play fairly recently. So that is the key to keep the pass rushers off of Jared Goff. And also, the Minnesota Vikings their cornerback play has been suspect this year, but their safety play, led by Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, and Cameron Bynum, who's probably been their best safety, they have been pretty good as a group. So that could be something that could give the Lions problems. And also their linebacking core, led by Ivan Pace Jr., the rookie standout, and Jordan Hicks, who might be back this week, is another part of the Vikings defense, which has been tough this year. So they have players at every single level. But like I said before, this Lions offense, fully healthy, fully intact, Ben Johnson cooking up his wizardry like he always does. I think they have the advantage over the Vikings defense, but this Vikings defense is no joke. And the fact that the Lions are on the road, they just have to take them seriously and be wary of this Vikings defense. I think they will, but it all starts up front with that Vikings pass rush. Just the tackles have to block.
And it starts, I think, with the offensive line, like it always does. We talk about it. This offense will go as far as this offensive line will take them. If you could pass protect, which they're going to need to, and they've been able to. The other thing is running the football, which I brought that up earlier. And I know the Vikings are one of the best run defenses. They're actually a better run defense, technically, according to the statistics, by 4 yards. They're the 5th run defense in the NFL. Lions are 8th. Doesn't matter. Lions are the 2nd best rushing offense. Yeah. So it's best on best. So just because they're good against the run doesn't mean the Lions are going to shy away from it. They're going to want to run the football. And you saw against the Bears. What were the Bears?
They were like right up there.
And what happened? They couldn't stick with the run because of the score, but they were able to run the football. We talk about this often. I don't give a damn where anybody ranks. You look at personnel, and then you look at the matchups, because that's what football is, right? Finding favorable matchups. The Lions' offensive line is a matchup problem every single week. So you can look on paper, Kenji, and you can see the Vikings are top 5, which, listen, Brian Flores done an incredible job, but they haven't faced an offensive line like this Lions one. I'll keep saying that.
No, they have not. And I think...
And these running backs, too.
Yeah, and I think the strength for us lies in the passing game, because if Jake Browning can go and put up 327 yards, I believe, last week, then Jared Goff should have absolutely no problem with a full complement of offense.
That's true.
Yeah, their front 7 is good, but that secondary has been being disguised. They do blitz the ball pretty well, so we'll see. But I expect a big passing game out of Jared Goff, at least 250 to 300 yards.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all, because the Vikings, their weakness of their defense has been their passing defense. But I think the Detroit Lions, especially with how balanced they are, with how good their rushing offense is, I wouldn't put too much stock into the Vikings having one of the top rush defenses. You should obviously be wary of it, but this the only team that has a better rush offense this year by the numbers in the Detroit Lions is the Baltimore Ravens. And who's their quarterback? Lamar Jackson. Do the Detroit Lions get helped out by their quarterback when it comes to their rushing yards? I don't think so. So the reality is we know talent-wise that the Lions have the best backfield in the NFL, running behind the best offensive line in the NFL, but the numbers play that out as well. And even when they go up against some of the better rushing defenses in the NFL, the Lions can get stuff going on the ground. I mean, what has been their they've really only had one poor rushing performance this whole season, and it was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and David Montgomery went out in that game.
Right.
It's almost like death and taxes. Death, taxes, the Lions will run the ball a level of effectively. Either they have to go away from it, but they still have a high yards per carry, or they do what they did last week against the Chargers against the Raiders and damn near go for over 200 yards or go for over 200 yards.
And here's the interesting thing. Even if they can't run the ball effectively, you still have to key in on it.
Yes.
Because even if Jameer and David combined are, averaging 2-3 yards per carry, one of those Jameer could break. He has the most 20-yard gains in the NFL.
Big gain Gibbs.
I like it.
I got roasted for that.
That's not a bad nickname.
I like it. I like Big Gain Gibbs. All right, hey,
Not bad.
Relax. Heavyweights didn't like that one, but regardless, even if he's struggling, it's something the opposing teams' defenses have to consistently key in on. Just to read some of these comments, Gridville says, "Keep spitting, Jeff." Appreciate you, Gridville. This one. A certified supply chain professional. I wanted the Lions to draft Ivan Pace. The dude was unblockable in the Senior Bowl or whatever one it was pre-draft during the rush drills versus running backs. How was he undrafted?
That's unbelievable.
It's a great
undrafted.
It's a lot of the NFL's undrafted. Surprisingly not.
Yeah.
Surprisingly so. Funky says the Vikings blitz 6 more than any other team thus far. Goff will have someone open regularly. He just has to hit them quickly. And that's probably one of the key things this game. They're going to send guys that some guys are going to be open, and they got guys that can make plays after the catch. So I think that's one of those things. It's going to be a big game for. You're going to have to expect a lot out of this offensive line, but also Goff. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't have to have 5 touchdown passes, but no turnovers, get the ball out quickly.
Well,
those are the two things that you gotta key in on.
I think a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown is uniquely conducive to a guy who can run those short routes, and Jared Goff can get rid of the ball quickly. And if the Vikings are blitzing a bunch of guys, I'm sure that Amon-Ra St. Brown will enjoy some one-on-one matchups against Byron Murphy. I think it'll be barbecue chicken if that's the case. But of course, as long as Jared Goff can get rid of the ball quickly and the blitz doesn't get home too quick, but. What do the Lions have? A great offensive line. They can. I think they can at least hold those guys steady for a few seconds, so Jared Goff can get rid of the football.
Yep, establish play action. Let the rest take care of itself.
Yep.
Get the ball to playmakers, baby. All right, let's head to break here. When we come back, we'll talk about Ben Johnson because you guys see those rumors. Ben Johnson asked for $15 million to be a head coach. Well, his agent spoke on that pretty quickly and shot that down. We'll get what he said, and then, of course, we'll get what Ben said about Jared Goff as well. He kind of had some words, and we'll review that when we come back. Also, guys, end of the show, we're going to announce the winner of the, Sam Laporta jersey?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's
Sam
we gave it.
Laporta
We're
jersey
giving it away on Woodward Sports. I know people are like, "You never announced the winners." Well, we're doing it right now. All right, you goofball. All right, so we actually give it out. All right, I know that you guys don't give away that. No, we do. All right, we're doing it here on the morning show. We'll do it at the end of the show.
Here's your jersey.
Yeah, here's your jersey. Take it. But for right now, though, got to hear about our friends from Premier Pet.
Yes, when it comes to your pet, don't settle. I don't settle when it comes to my golden retriever, Jake, and my orange cat, Milo. Jake enjoyed his birthday presents from Premier Pet. And you can give your pet the best like I give my pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. With 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. Visit their website at premierpetsupply.com.
Yes, I can. I'll tell you about Jack Labrador because Jack Labrador is the game to get, especially I know you're a last-minute shopper like me. Go out and get Jack Labrador. It's a great stocking stuffer gift. It truly is. It should be your #1 overall stocking stuffer pick. 1 deck, 3 games, fun for the whole family for less than $20. You'll love your Jack Labrador pick more than you'll love Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, I said it. Draft like Brad Holmes, draft at jacklabrador.com, or scan the QR code above for more information.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you could do us a favor, hit a like button on the stream. It does help us, helps the network, kind of pushes the show out there. So again, we appreciate you. If you guys are on social media, you saw the report. I know Woodward Sports posted it as well. Josina Anderson tweeted out, "I'm told personnel around the league are discussing their awareness that some owners have been told Lions OC Ben Johnson's asking price is at least or around $15 million for a head coaching job, per source." That's cute, because his agent actually quote tweeted, his agent who deals with that stuff said, "I'm told personnel around the league are discussing their awareness that there is no asking price or demand, and this tweet is 100% false and irresponsible reporting, per source." Dunked on her completely. Ooh. And listen, Josina Anderson, I don't have a problem with her personally. I just hate, if you're going to tweet something like that out, you better be sure. You better be sure, because not that I blame Ben Johnson, because I think he deserves that money, because he's the hottest coaching candidate in quite some time here. But to say something like that is just disingenuous. You don't even know if it's per source. The report's false. And I think she stood, I don't know, and I think she tweeted something out, maybe standing on it or retracting it. I'm not sure 100%. But Ben Johnson for $15 million, not saying he doesn't deserve it, but you know what this tells me, Sam?
What's up?
If it was true that he loves his job, because if I'm in a situation where I love my job, I want a bag if I'm leaving. Okay, especially for Ben, and he knows his value. So I actually kind of believed it at first, but the agent just shut that thing down. So it's great. It's just, it's probably not something Ben wants out there. Like, he's asking for $15 million and he's never been a head coach. I get that. Just not a great look for some teams, especially for a report like that for Josina, who I believe has let me check real quick, almost 250,000 followers.
Jesus.
You can't put that out if you don't have a confirmation, especially from his agent. Come on.
Well, yeah, she has a responsibility to not be reckless with her tweets, because that is the type of tweet, and I get it. We love Ben Johnson. I love Ben Johnson. He has done a phenomenal job with the Detroit Lions, and I think he is the type of coach who can be the next Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, or the like. But the reality is, if there are reports that he's asking for $15 million to be a head coach, that is something that can be seen as a smear job, because in the NFL right now, there are only 3 coaches in 2013 who make either $15 million or above, and that is Pete Carroll, who makes $15 million, Sean Payton, who makes $18 million, and Bill Belichick, who makes $20 million. All 3 of those coaches have won Super Bowls, and if Ben Johnson were to make $15 million a year, $15 million in 2023 or 2024, he would be higher paid than Sean McVay, Mike Tomlin, Andy Reid, and John Harbaugh. So I mean, if you're trying to put that out there so that nobody wants to hire Ben Johnson and he stays in Detroit, hey, let's put some more rumors out there about
Sam,
Ben Johnson.
hold on a second. I think I just got a report. I think Ben hates puppies. I think that just came in. Yeah, he hates puppies. He hates babies, and hates puppies. So if you guys don't want to hire him, that's completely okay. Yeah. I completely understand. Obviously, her source is pretty trustworthy. I mean, her source is probably what? Trust me, bro? Is that her source?
Look at Sheila working.
Sorry, I just got some intel. Hates puppies, hates children. So don't hire him. Let him stay in Detroit. He's a great guy. Or excuse me, he's a garbage human being. Yeah, don't hire him at all. What'd you think about that $15 million, KG, when you first saw it? Because I kind of fell for it at
it's
first.
It's ridiculous. I mean, come on now. Like Sam said, why would he put that out there right now? That's just not a good look, man. And then while he's a great offensive coordinator, he's unproven as a head coach.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
That's
like,
true.
come on now. He can't come in asking that kind of money, nor would he. You know, so it's a stupid report. These reporters should be required to put their sources up when they put their tweets up, because it's ridiculous. They just go run with anything and then it's clickbait. So
Nick K says Ben Johnson steals from Toys for Tots.
I thought it was on there.
Hey, Nick, you're probably. Hey, I'm with you. He does. But Brandon, what do you make of all this? I like to call Brandon my agent, even though he's not my agent. He helps me with different decisions. So Brandon, from a Jeff's agent perspective, what do you make of this report?
Man, when I first saw it, I thought it was wild, man. My first translation was like, I guess he really, really loves Detroit, and maybe he's just trying to quiet down the noise while the Lions are trying to make this push. But when the agent came out and said, yo, this is like crazy talk, it instantly was just like, yo, this is irresponsible. Like KG over there was saying, man, it's very irresponsible. I think Sheila's just trying to make sure she hedges her bets, man. She's trying to keep Ben Johnson in Detroit for all of us, keep us all happy.
good
man.
old smear campaign. I like it.
Yeah, like I'm down with a smear campaign for Ben. Like if you can retain him, I don't. Hey, sorry, Ben.
$15 million, bro.
Yeah. And you said the only coaches that make around that number are Super Bowl champions.
Pete Carroll makes 15, Sean Payton makes 18, and Bill Belichick makes 20. And oh, by the way, just to put that in perspective, and I kind of already said it, but I'll give specifics. Sean McVay makes 14. Mike Tomlin makes 12.5, Andy Reid makes 12, and John Harbaugh makes 12. And Ben Johnson, and as I said before, I have no doubt that someday he will be a head coach that is worthy of being mentioned in the like of these guys, although he's going to have to win a Super Bowl first because all these coaches have. But as of right now, being a first-time head coach, you just never know. Usually the track record for young, innovative offensive minds is good. I mean, there's many of them in the NFL that are succeeding right now, like Kyle Shanahan, like Sean McVay, like Zach Taylor, like Kevin O'Connell, like Mike McDaniel. But at the same time, Ben Johnson has never been a head coach in the NFL in his life. And if you want to give him $15 million, good luck. But the reality is that Ben Johnson never put that out there. That's the overriding point of this segment. That original tweet was just so damn irresponsible. And the retraction is always a lot quieter than the original tweet, and that's the problem. That's the problem.
Funky says, Jeff, I heard Ben Johnson is just a figurehead and does nothing at all, and Dan does all the play designs and calls every game. That's what I heard anyway. Funky, I heard the same thing, to be honest with you. Yeah, what does this guy even do? Like, seriously.
It's all Jared.
Just
Like,
stands there with a clipboard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't even do anything.
Doing cardio on the sidelines, getting steps in.
Bring him back. So he did also speak on Jared Goff a little bit. KG, I just sent the graphic of the Slack. I'll give you some time to put that up.
Cool.
But he had an interesting quote here, and he praised Jared Goff just from his intelligence. And, of course, Ben, listen, him and Jared have a great relationship, and I think what Ben's done for Jared and kind of vice versa it's been incredible. Like watching Jared kind of get back to his early days in LA and reinstilling confidence. And it's not just Ben, it's Dan as well. But the system Jared's in, it's perfect for him. It's designed for him. It's tailored for him. And here's the quote here, and I'll read some of it, and KG can put it up when he has it. Ben Johnson said this on Jared Goff. The things he handles with the pre-snap operations, there aren't many quarterbacks in the league doing what he does. He's such a smart player, and that tends to get overlooked sometimes. And he said that, again, about their starting quarterback. There you go. There's the quote. And I don't think Ben's lying here, obviously. There's not a lot of quarterbacks. And I said this. When we talk about Goff, we always say this, Sam Flannel. There's a lot of teams that would take Goff right now.
Sure.
We could probably go through them, and then we can make that a whole segment. A lot of teams in the NFL that would take him. Doesn't make him a bad quarterback. So I think when people, critique him, or people have different opinions on what the future holds for Jared Goff, I know it can be misconstrued, or it sometimes gets interpreted as hating. That's kind of where it always goes. But Ben Johnson, one thing he has never done, he's never lost faith in Jared Goff. He never has. So Credit to him.
Yeah, and for the most part, Jared Goff, actually for the entirety, when you look at the entirety of everything, Jared Goff and Ben Johnson have been a great match. And Jared Goff, as we've always said, his intelligence, his ability to hit receivers in time, be accurate, and not try to do too much, and when he's on, he can take care of the football. Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, they work pretty well together, and Jared Goff is a quarterback that is capable of running Ben Johnson's system, or at least getting it to the point where their offense is as good as it is right now, given the fact that the running game is great, the offensive line is great, and he has some weapons as well. It's been a fantastic relationship, at least up to this point. And right now, I think they have built what I would consider a Super Bowl level offense, given the system, given all the weapons, and given Jared Goff with his skill set and his intelligence.
And if the Lions, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if they make the Super Bowl, it'll be because of this offense.
Yes.
Led by Jared Goff and cooked up by Ben Johnson. So, I mean, they're going to be the reason if they have a playoff run. Now, we have our own predictions, which I don't think they will make the Super Bowl. I don't think they'll make the NFC Championship game. And it, again, might be interpreted as hating for me to say that, but it's just my honest opinion. But yes, you can't deny how far this team goes is the offensive line, the offense, Jared, Ben. It starts with those guys.
I think having 2,000-yard rushers helps too. Just but before we glaze Goff too much, I have to put that out there.
And I'm not trying to glaze Goff, but I meant the entire offense.
Sure.
The offense will be the reason if they make a run. That's you can't deny that. Let's go to break here, and we get back. We'll talk about what player. We do this every Friday. It's a lot of fun. What player offensively and defensively are looking for to make the biggest impact on Sunday. Some key players we're going to talk about here when we come back. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Planet Fitness. It's the home, the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym. It's got tons of equipment, full-body workout in just 30 minutes. And, of course, all memberships include fitness training. You might see the president there, Neil Rule. Never sleep on it. For $10 a month, you get to see the president working out. You kidding me? It's a deal. $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. 50, more than 50, Metro Detroit, and thousands more throughout the world.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Boner and Broder.
Let me tell you about our friends over at Fairway Packing. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Co. has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or you can order online at fairwaypacking.com. Get your meats. We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Mike just texted me. He says, I need clips, Jeff. 50 minutes in. I don't have any. P.S. Pistons suck. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Mike. Asking me to do something and insulting me at the same time. Love you, Mike. Let's get into it, though. Who needs to step up for the Lions, offensively and defensively? We'll start offensively. Sam, give me a player you expect to have a big game on Sunday. Who needs to have a big game?
You know, I think it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. And this is another case of the superstar stepping up and being a superstar. I think this is a game in which he's going to be, if the Vikings blitz, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have some one-on-one matchups, and the Vikings' #1 corner is Byron Murphy, and he's he's been hit and miss this season, to put it kindly. And I think Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Byron Murphy, as I've said before, is going to be barbecue chicken. And I think if the Vikings are able to blitz and the Lions offensive line is able to hold them up and not let the Vikings blitz get home, I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown will get a lot of those crossing routes, a lot of those short and intermediate ones. And another, I would say, bold prediction is I think Amon-Ra St. Brown gets at least 50 yak yards this week. I think he's going to be a yards after the catch demon, and I think he could take one, maybe like a 30-yarder that's a 5-yard crossing route, and he takes it to the house. So to me, Amon-Ra St. Brown has one of his biggest games of his entire career, maybe is approaching $125, $130 against the Minnesota Vikings, also considering the fact that the Vikings' weakness of their defense is their pass defense as well. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown as the offensive player who's going to have a huge game.
By the way, Byron Murphy,
yeah,
pass rating allowed 102.
102, and he's given up, I think, 715 yards and 7 touchdowns when targeted. Yeah,
damn,
not great.
Yeah, he's got some interceptions this year, but doesn't tell the full story. Sam, you're spot on there. I think offensively, who needs to step up? And this isn't, like you said, it's not always who needs to step up like they're playing bad. It's just who needs to have a big game. I'm going back to Jared Goff. I think this needs to be another, not 5 touchdowns, but it's got to be a clean performance. And that's on the offensive line. I get that. They got to protect them because, again, like we say all the time, this offense will go as far as the offensive line will take them. But for Jared, this is a team that likes to blitz. So for him this week, it's about getting the ball out quickly, not turning the ball over. And, of course, like you just said with the yak stuff you were talking about, because I agree with you. If they're blitzing, that leaves a couple extra guys not in coverage.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, these guys are going to have to make plays. I think Goff has to have another clean game. If he throws for 300 yards, great. I'm not asking for that. That's not what I mean by big game. He's got to play clean. That's who I'm looking for. Has to play, a great game. Got to be solid on Sunday if the Lions are going to come out here and lock up a division.
Yeah.
Got to have your best players play well.
Yeah.
What about you, KG?
For me, it's Jamison Williams, and more so for the fact that, like you said, it's not that he's playing bad. You just want to see him build more upon what he did last week. Finally got more targets. We've been screaming for that. And you just want to see him build on that because I feel like he has a 100-yard game somewhere hidden deep within him, and he's going to get his shot against this Minnesota defense. Like you said, they're going to blitz a lot, going to leave a lot of people open in that secondary. So look for Jamison Williams to have maybe an even better game if they continue to target him like they should.
What about you, Kool-Aid? Who's one player on offense you're looking for? He needs to have a big game this week.
I think Sam Laporta, man.
That's a good one.
Just continue to have him go out there and absolutely make the middle of the field a big, big target for Jared Goff. I think that's a very key thing for Jared Goff to have a big game. And I think it does open up a little bit more for other people as well on the outside, as well as for those running backs, man. So Sam Laporta.
People chiming in here, too, talking about who needs to step up. Carnage says, how about a Hutch show up for once? Well, hold on. For once, that's aggressive. You know that Carnage for once is aggressive. We're going to talk about the defense, though, in a sec here. Let's see. People still talking about the Rams-Lions matchup. I feel like that's going to be we're going to have to talk about that for like a week straight. I swear to God.
It's happening, man.
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
No.
Let's see. Brian Ruth says Vikings starting running back hasn't been at practice. That's good news. Let's go to defense, though. Who needs to step up defensively? Who needs to have a big game? And it's got to be Hutch because he has them. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I do believe Hutch has to have a big game, though, because I think Hutch, out of anybody on this defense, he has the ability to wreck this game.
Sure.
Yeah, you could bring up, who's been looking better. Josh Pascal got a sack last week. Thank you, finally. He's starting to kind of get into a rhythm. If he can keep up that type of production and generate pressure, that'll be great. But for me, Sam, I'm going to go with their best player on defense. It's got to be Aiden Hutchinson. This game, you saw it. He closed the Chicago Bears game. This Vikings offensive line, it's not anything special. All right, they got Darrisaw, who's a great tackle, but this isn't one of those games where Hutch should be, he's not going to be. I don't think he'll be locked up all game. So for me, it's got to be Hutch. He has the ability to change the outcome of this game. You force fumbles. Kind of like what they were doing for the Bengals against the Vikings. They were generating pressure. Nick Mullins, he was uncomfortable, threw a couple interceptions, almost threw a pick six that was called back. So for me, it's the defensive line, but it's got to be their best player on the defensive line. I'm going to go with Hutch. Not saying it's the only good game of the year. I'm not going to go that far, Carnage. But if he has a big game, change the outcome of this game. There's no doubt about it.
Aiden Hutchinson is a good one, and that was one that I was considering. But since you went with him, I am going to go with one Brian Branch in this one. And here's one of the reasons why.
Nice.
I think the Minnesota Vikings, they've had a propensity to turn the football over this year. Particularly, I mean, Josh Dobbs threw 4 picks against the Bears, but that's not relevant right now. It's the fact that Nick Mullins is their starter. He threw a couple up for grabs against the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to have to win this game if they are going to try to win this game through the air, because I think the Lions are going to shut down the Vikings run game. I think the Vikings they'll get some yards. I think Justin Jefferson will make some plays, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. I think it'll be with the Lions more of a bend don't break. My prediction is Brian Branch he picks one off. I think this is exactly what's going to happen. I know it's going to seem like a little far-fetched, but you know what? I don't think it is. I think the Vikings are going to have one drive where they're nearing the red zone. They're maybe at the Lions 30, and then Aiden Hutchinson gets the pressure, which forces Nick Mullins to throw it up for grabs, intended for TJ Hawkinson, which is picked off by Brian Branch. I think he makes either the game-sealing interception or the type of interception that flips the game where the Vikings are going in to score and the Lions actually take the football away. I think Nick Mullins is going to be prone to put one up for grabs, and I think it's going to be Brian Branch, who has been one of their biggest playmakers this season, who gets one, and I think that'll be the difference in the game, a Brian Branch pick.
You know what would be nice, too?
What's
a
up?
guy who is a ball hawk but hasn't really shown it this year, Kirby Joseph.
Yeah.
If he can get back, if he can get another pick, man, we've been waiting on him. He almost had one last week.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson threw one up for grabs, and he just missed it. Kirby, another guy that could change the complete outcome of this game. They got to generate turnovers, and I think if you bring up anyone in the secondary, I wouldn't disagree with you. I think Brian Branch is a great one. Let's see, DCP1 says Hutch is due for one of those weird 3-sack games. Brian Ruth says Vildor and Branch have to lock down Addison. Unbelievable position wide receiver. The other, I guess, X factor, KG and Brandon, where I'd go is probably who's ever guarding Jordan Addison or Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah.
And throw TJ in there. They got a plethora of weapons.
Right. And I was going to go to that. At my core is Hutch because, even with more defensive help last week, he was kind of a no-show. Not saying he didn't have an effect on the game at all, but, you definitely wanted to see him have a better game. But since you already went Hutch, I'll go Cam Sutton. Because the Vikings are going to go to their air in this one. That's the only way they're really going to be able to score points,
right?
If you ask me. So Justin Jefferson, you have to keep him from going off. And Cam Sutton, he's had a couple slip-ups here and there, but overall has had a pretty solid season for us. So I expect him to be physical with Justin Jefferson and keep him from really breaking this game open.
What about you, Brandon?
I was going to go with Cam Sutton as well. I mean, that's a good one. But I think, honestly, the battery between Alex Anzalone and AG.
Nice.
AG has to come with a game plan. And Alex Anzalone, I want to see this guy continue to be a demon all over the field. I'm talking about just going out there and making sure to shut down anything that's coming across the middle for him. Continue to be that guy that's going out there to try and lead the team in tackles, making hard hits. And being able to clean up anything behind that defensive line. And AG, I really want to see him go out there and game plan this win for the defense. Not something where we're coming off of this and we're always having to question, does AG have it all together? I really want to see him go out there and have a surefire game plan, because this Minnesota team, I get it, we can kind of poo-poo maybe a little bit the quarterback position, but they got some weapons on the Vikings offense.
And I'm curious too, at least for AG, because he did it last week. He brought pressure to Russell Wilson.
Yes.
In the passing attack, maybe isn't respected, even though Cortland Sutton is consistently made plays downfield. I'm curious what approach AG has this game, Sam. If he's okay, we're going to blitz the hell out of Nick Mullins and kind of leave TJ, Jordan, and Justin Jefferson kind of on an island, but we're just going to send pressure and try and force Nick Mullins to beat us, or we're going to drop more into coverage and just allow these 4 to try and get home, which they haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
I'm curious what his approach is, because depending on what it is, could come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at there, because I actually like the way the defense looked against the Broncos. Those different kind of blitzing looks from all over the field.
Yeah, iffy.
Those are things that we were talking about earlier in the season. We would have hoped AG would have instilled earlier. Even though he doesn't have all of the personnel, it was nice to be able to see that stark change in the game plan.
I like when they were sent in the slot corner. They sent iffy. It's just kind of disguising different blitzes. I think AG's got to keep that up for sure. I don't think Nick Mullins, he hasn't played a ton of football. He's been in the league for a little bit here, but I think blitzing will benefit them. just like they did last week.
I would think so. I think Nick Mullins is he's somebody that could get rattled by a Lions blitz. He hasn't played a lot of football this year. He hasn't been a starter for much of his career, and when he has been a starter, it's because he's been forced to, because he's Nick freaking Mullins. So I think he could get rattled by a Lions blitz, but I also am a little bit weary of leaving Justin Jefferson one-on-one, or Jordan Addison one-on-one, or hell, even TJ Hawkinson one-on-one. Those blitzes, they have to get home, or else they could give up a couple of big plays. But it's Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins could completely wet his pants while being faced with an onslaught of Lions blitzers. We'll see. I think AG should keep it up, at least try it out, see if it works.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go to break here in a second, but I do want to take some phone calls if you guys are up for it. If you want to call the show and I want your thoughts on the game itself, and not just the game, but on top of that, your thoughts on the Lions potentially locking up the NFC North. Because if you think about it, and just some of the players weren't even born yet last time the Lions won the division.
Whew.
Wow.
I think Jared Goff he's probably a baby.
Probably
at that
most
point.
of them weren't born.
So
honestly,
think about how significant that is. If you guys feel free, call up. We'll talk to some people. If not, we'll go through more and kind of preview more of this game. And we'll take it from there. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Swiss Insurance, Sam Flannel.
Do you have football on the brain? Of course you do. This college and professional football season has been awesome, and it's a great time to shop for home and auto insurance. Perfect time right now, winter going into Christmas season, and then we're going to get into college football playoffs, Super Bowl, all of that. The perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com, or call 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
And let me tell you about our friends over at Feldman Chevrolet. 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest to you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi every other Monday.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Man, just in time for football and better yet, a playoff push, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. Oh, my favorite color. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's gassy and aggressive and named in honor of Detroit football. If you ain't got your hands on one of these, man, you missing out. So you can find them for 25% off at gloriouscanna.com.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you, Wicksters. Merry Christmas. And if he needs to ball out again this week, I'm with you. Donated $50.
Oh.
Appreciate that. The network does appreciate that.
Thank you.
Let's see here. We got some callers waiting as well. Let's get to them. Why not? Let's get right to them. Paul M. also comments, Lions have never won the North. It was essential last time they won the conference. Yes, he is correct. NFC North first time ever. Let's bring in the callers, though, Brandon. I know we got some people waiting here. Let's get to them. Who do we got?
Did you just say Wickster?
Yes.
You know what? Let's put him on right now. Hey, what up, though, Wickster? You on with the Morning Woodward Show?
Wickster, welcome to the program. Appreciate
good morning.
Appreciate the donation, man. What's on your mind this morning?
So I have a question. When they put in C.J. Gardner-Johnson, what do they do with Iffy? And how do they play those two?
Well, they're going to have to get him on the field. I'm absolutely with you. I don't know if CG will play. He's probably going to be out there this week, but I don't know, coming off of what he had, a torn pec. You're probably going to see a lot of Iffy this week, but that's a great question. They're going to have to find ways, different packages to get him on the field. He played so well last week. There's no way in hell Aaron Glenn's just going to look at Iffy and be like, all right, it's time to come off now, man.
Yeah, and when you look,
I agree.
Yeah, when you look at, well, I don't know if C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to play a whole lot this week, but you look at the Cowboys, you look at the Vikings again in Week 18. They're going to run they have a lot of weapons, each of them. So getting as many defensive backs on the field is something that I think is advantageous. And you don't even know with Iffy Melifonwu, as much as we love what he's done, what he did last week, what he's done for most of the year, he still has a relatively small sample size. And with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the question with him is how close to 100% is he going to be when he comes back from injury? So I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error. Who looks more comfortable? Who looks more effective when they go out and play? Because there's advantages and disadvantages, I think, to either of them. But if they're both healthy, I mean, obviously Iffy is, but if they're both playing at their optimum level, it's a good problem to have, I would say.
Yeah, and the other benefit of that too is they have so many guys in their secondary that can play multiple positions.
Yes.
Right? Like CJ can play in the slot, he can play safety. Brian Branch is naturally a safety, he's playing in the slot as well. If he was a corner out of Syracuse, now he's a safety.
Yeah.
So the versatility, I think, will help them. Wickster, I do.
Yeah, so they'll be able to, just mix it up and just give a bunch of different looks.
Yes, absolutely.
And I kind of actually hope that they just get him ready for the playoffs and don't even give anybody looks as to what he looks like on the field until the playoffs.
Yeah, this secondary has kind of been, I mean, we talk about the pass rush, but the secondary has not been great. So I'm with you. I think if he's earned it, he should be on the field, and he should be one of those guys you just can't take off without how well he's playing. But we appreciate the phone call, man. Welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas to you, too, and your family. Yeah, I'm with him. If he's playing so well, he can't come off the field. There's no way. And Aaron Glenn knows that.
Yeah.
You got to find ways to get him out there. Who else we got on the line, Brandon?
Hey, we got Hassan from Minnesota.
Hassan from Minnesota. Before I start, Hassan, are you a perspective of a Lions fan or are you a Vikings fan?
I'm a Lions fan, man. I'm a Lions fan.
There you go. What's on your mind this morning?
We got to stop Daniil Hunter on offense, man. He has, 15 and a half sacks?
Yep.
You know, he's a game wrecker, causes havoc. And on offensively, we have to stop Jefferson because what did he have, 223 last year on us at home?
Yep. Yep, he did.
So those are, the two, main guys we have to stop. Those, they can wreck the game for us. And Goff just, under pressure, I just need him to, get that ball out quick, hit him on Rob, Laporta, Josh Reynolds, Gibbs, But I'm scared for this game. I'm really scared.
Yeah, and I'm with you about. I'm not scared, but I get why you're concerned. I get it. Daniil Hunter's a game wrecker. They got weapons galore. And you're on the road. It's a divisional game, and the Lions, as of late, they'll play really well against the Broncos. But can we expect that same type of performance? Yeah. I think this Lions team will be super motivated. They know if they win this game, they win the division. But Hassan, I think if people are looking at this game like, oh yeah, they'll take care of the Vikings. I don't give a damn who's at quarterback. It could be you, Hassan. There's too many weapons out there on offense to not be concerned.
Yeah, and no, and the funny thing too is you mentioned Daniil Hunter, you mentioned Justin Jefferson. Obviously, Daniil Hunter has played like one of the best edge rushers in the NFL this year. And if I'm the Vikings, I'm putting Daniil Hunter up one-on-one with Taylor Decker as often as I can. Because with all due respect to Taylor Decker, he is not as good as Penei Sewell, and I think Daniil Hunter could win a couple one-on-one matchups, unless of course the Lions decide to double or chip or anything like that. But when it comes to Justin Jefferson, obviously Nick Mullins will be the one throwing him the football, but it's not even just Justin Jefferson, because Jordan Addison, if it weren't for performances like Puka Nacua is having, or CJ Stroud, or even a couple guys on the Lions, Laporta and Gibbs, you'd be talking about Jordan Addison as maybe a leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. And you also could be talking about this year TJ Hawkinson being a Pro Bowl tight end or an All-Pro tight end himself. So it's not just Jefferson and Hunter, although I think when everything equal, those are their two best players, and those are the two at their ceiling could kill us the most. But I think at least with Daniil Hunter, if Penei Sewell is blocking him, I think the Lions will be okay. I really do. But you don't know.
Put him in a phone booth.
He could.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the one-on-one against Decker.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate the call, Hassan. Wait, what's on your mind? What else? You got something else?
No, I feel like, they're a little underrated, the Vikings,
Yeah.
But we'll see. I got faith in us, though. It's their whiteout game. We should beat them, though.
Yeah.
I got faith.
We appreciate you, Hassan. I know you're holding it down. A Lions fan out there in Minnesota, man. You're welcome back anytime. You're on enemy lines.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas. Yep. I love that when people call in and they're from in different states, especially in Minnesota. You're a Detroit Lions fan. I love that.
Lions fans everywhere, man.
Yeah. Hey, cold like Minnesota. Who do we got on the line, Brandon?
You know what? We got one of my favorite callers, man. Devin from Inkster.
Hey. Devin. Welcome.
Yo.
Devin, I need the concern level for you, or maybe the excitement level. What, on a scale from 1 to 10 this weekend? How confident are you?
All right, man. Look, I've been a Lions fan since '94. I sat on my dad's lap with my grandpa watching the damn Lions, and over the years have watched them every fucking year just be terrible. This is the one year that I could rub in my dad's face because he's the same old Lions fan.
Yep.
That when I make him the King of the North shirt this weekend for Christmas, it's going to be the what do you call that, Sam? The coup de grace of everything just coming full circle. The excitement is there, but the realization of just the team that we have now, the longevity that we have with these guys, that makes me more happy as a fan and more happy as just a ride or die like Detroiter, because it's not a one-year gig. It's like, yeah, okay, we lose Ben Johnson next year. Oh, big scary. We don't know what the fuck the offense is going to look like. But overall, seeing what the offense can show us every week, in and out, and no guys fighting for each other. It's like the Woodward sports crew. Everybody fights for each other, but everybody comes together at the end of the day and make sure business is taken care of. It's like we all may hate Flannel Sam's takes, but at the end of the day, we respect him because he stands on business. And that's a bar.
Hey. No, that is a hell of a bar, and I think that's something that Lions fans should be excited for. I know Neil Rule mentioned it on Big D Energy. Like, how great would it be to go into the Vikings' house and clinch the division this weekend, especially with Christmas coming up? I mean, come on, you could actually get your dad like NFC North champion shirt. I don't know if it'll be out quick enough to give it to him for Christmas, but if he's the same old Lions fan, you could actually be like, hey, look at this. You can wear this now with pride.
Yeah, Devin. It's like.
Oh yeah. No, fuck that. With me being a graphic designer, and me having my own press and everything, he's getting one homemade.
Oh, Devin.
Right then and there. Devin. And Sam, I got a nice flannel for you. If Michigan pulls this off and everybody has to shut the fuck up, because I've been a diehard Michigan fan, just low-key about it, because, I'm tired of the Neil rules. I'm tired of the Braylon Edwards, what are we doing? Why are we doing this to Michigan? No, we are the fucking number one. Fuck Alabama. Fuck the NCAA. We are number one, and I'm going to ride that fucking train to the end of the fucking days with you,
Talk your shit.
If we get that big-ass dub, I'm calling in with you, Flannel Sam, and we going to fucking kumbaya all damn day. Fucking demo talk. We going to kumbaya all damn day about this. Because we're going to come into the new year with a fucking win. We're going to come into the new year, not only we're going to have the titles locked up, we're going to have the NFC locked up, and then we still got to deal with a shitty-ass Pistons team. Well, I'll take it. At the end of the day, I'll fucking take it from you. We can't all have it.
You know what?
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Oh shit! No, go ahead.
Love you, Devin.
My bad.
All right. So honestly, and you just had to mention the Pistons there, but think about this, guys. If somebody told you before the year that you would get a Michigan, and I'm not a Michigan national championship, a Lions at least division win and playoff win, but the Pistons had to be historically bad. I think a lot of us would have taken that. If you had to sacrifice the Pistons to uplift Michigan and the Lions, I think a lot of us would have taken that. I think
Bro, throw their ass to the gulag at this point.
Yeah, you ain't
Throw
lying,
them to
Devin.
the gulag at this point.
Hey, we appreciate you, Devin. Hey, I'm gonna have to hit you up for that. We got a press and everything. We might have to get the pre-orders there for
Hell yeah, man! I'm a full graphic designer. I'm like a miniature JD out here, man. I just ain't got the video editing skills. I gotta get up on there, man.
Okay,
be
Devin.
an intern.
I see you out here. I appreciate you, man, calling the show, bro. You're welcome back anytime. You know that.
Hell yeah! Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy New Year's. Hope you guys have a safe one. Don't get too drunk if we fucking win this game. Let's go fucking Lions!
Let's go, Devin. You're the GOAT, man. Appreciate you. Always bringing the juice. Always bringing the juice. Who else we got in the line? We'll take one
It
more.
sounded like you said the Pistons were sacrificed for the Soul Stone of the Lions.
Yeah. He said send them back to the gulag.
Right. We got Issa from Chicago.
Issa from Chicago. Welcome to the show, brother. What's on your mind?
What's up, guys? Merry Christmas, first of all.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
New
Same
Year,
to you.
Merry Christmas. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Brighten up my day every day.
Thank you.
Man, it's time to be happy. You know, there's so many people who passed away. I got family members who passed away who never, were fortunate enough to see what, we're going to end up seeing. If not this Sunday, we're going to get it. Let's hope this Sunday. Honest question. Shit, I'm getting emotional right now. Am I the only one? Like, I know I'm probably going to shed some tears on Sunday.
No, we
usually not for a division, but come on, guys. This is history in the making.
Yeah, no, it is. And I can relate to that. I mean, my dad, he's 61 years old. He's seen one playoff win. So if we're talking division, it's the first time in his lifetime to win the NFC North, second time to win a division. So it's going to be a lot of Lions fans, man. For me at least, as soon as this happens, it is going to be emotional. I'm going to go right to my dad and be like, how does this feel? He's been one of the biggest SOL fans. He still is, and I don't blame him for everything he's had to endure. But yeah, it's special.
No, not at all.
It is. It's special.
Yeah, not at all. And also, Sam, Bama can whoop that ass. I'm sorry. It's going to ruin your New Year's, but Bama is going to whoop that ass.
Hey, we'll see. Feel free to call in and gloat the day after if it happens.
We need you back on that day.
But I also want to hear you,
Trust
though.
me, I keep the receipts.
But I want to hear you if Michigan wins as well. I want you to call back as well, so I can gloat as well. But even if Michigan does beat Alabama, job's not finished quite yet, but that would be a huge win.
We appreciate you, brother. I hope you enjoy this Sunday.
If they beat Alabama, I'll become a believer, and I appreciate you guys for sure. Enjoy your Sunday, man. Enjoy it. Remember all the stupid-ass fucking times that we got cheated,
Yep.
Ball out of the end zone, challenging a play that is not challengeable on Thanksgiving.
Sterling
the
shot fly
end
over.
of game when we were... we were 1 inch short with Golden Tate in the end of the game. Oh my God, the picked up flag in Dallas, don't even get me started. Remember all that this Sunday, boys. Love you guys.
I got you, man. Love you too. We appreciate you, man. The kind words, and we appreciate you being a fan of the show. Let's go to break here. We get back. I know some people are waiting. We'll get to a couple more people here, and then we'll get to our Lions game predictions, of course. But as of right now, got to hear about our friends from Big Boy, so let me tell you about them. Big Boy's the place to be. Especially, listen, Lions lock up a division. You need some breakfast, maybe some lunch, even some dinner. Go over to Big Boy. They got it. Classic potato pancakes. They're stuffed potato pancakes. It's the place. I grew up on Big Boy, and I still love to go there. It's me and my mom's favorite place. Head over to Big Boy. They got it. It's the place to be. Down home comfort plus potato pancakes. Check them out over at Big Boy.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned Bad Boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivery to your doorstep. Just visit their website at outdoorequipco.com.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Lions, Vikings, this Sunday, Friday show. It's always a blast. We're taking phone calls, getting the people's just the vibe on the game this weekend, maybe some game predictions, the confidence level, the realization that you may, and I think it's a high chance, you're going to lock up the NFC North this weekend. First time ever they've won the NFC North. Not the first time ever they've won a division, but NFC North, first time ever. Brandon,
yes,
who do we got
sir.
in the line? Let's get to the people.
We got packed phone lines. Next up is Theo from Detroit.
Theo, welcome to the show, brother. What's on your mind this morning?
Yo, what up, though?
What up, though?
Yeah. I got a couple things I want to say. First off, fuck Bama. Okay.
There we go.
That's number one.
There we go.
Number two, I got a couple things about to say about the game this weekend. I feel like is that if first off we need to go do what we know, and that's run the fucking football down their throat.
Yep.
First off, number one, the Vikings ain't seen an offensive line like ours. That's number one. Especially a double duo, it's our running back duo. We're going to run the ball all game on them and set up the play action in crucial time. I don't see Jared Goff getting over like I say 22, 23 pass attempts this game because we're going to bludgeon them with the run. And number three, as far as our defense, I feel like if C.J. Gardner-Johnson can play, I feel like he need to be out there because you need to get that flow and that chemistry going into the playoffs. I don't know what dude was talking about keeping them out to the playoffs. No, you keep them in there. You keep that get that energy going so they can hit their stride when it's time. And as far as us going, you got to think about this weekend. I feel like if we do, it ain't gonna be close. To be honest with you, because I feel like my prediction of the game is gonna be 34-17 Lions, convincingly.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Theo. Everything you just talked about, you nailed it. The running the football, have to do it, and like you said about CJ, not that, of course, you're saying rush him back, but I'm with you. You have to get this man back as soon as possible. He brings a different type of edge and juice and just attitude to the secondary, and they need a guy like out there. He's going to hold guys accountable. I'm with Theo, Sam Flannel.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, and one more thing before Flannel go. Flannel, stay off my boy J-Mo, man.
I knew that was coming at some point.
You know, hey, Flannel, I fucks with you, man. I like all your takes and shit. I don't like how they get on you about Michigan, even though I support all the Michigan teams. So you can't give me really the cheer for either or when they going against each other. But
J-Mo, man, it took him a year to get back. He tore his ACL. He got suspended on some bullshit. Give him some time, man. He hitting his stride now. He going to be big in the playoffs. I'm telling you, like, bro, he going to be big in the playoffs. But my thing is like, you can't force him the ball. Just saying with this offense, what we got is what we do. They distribute the football. You know, they got too many playmakers. We just centering on him. You know, they got somebody already that's better receiver right now than him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right now at this moment. But other than that, you can't just swag about my boy, man. Y'all have a good Christmas, man. Y'all stay blessed.
Hey, talk to him, Theo. We appreciate you. You're welcome back anytime, bro. Appreciate it.
Sure. As I've
Your
always,
response.
You know what I've always said, and for the record, I agree with Theo's last point about don't force feed Jameson Williams the ball. That's why I gave him a ton of praise for the game he had against the Broncos, even though he only had 48 yards. I don't even care about that. I praised him for the Buccaneers game. I praised him for the Bears game. As long as he keeps playing well and the Lions keep winning, I will continue to praise him. And I hope someday that I can actually issue my official apology, but I'm not quite there yet.
But you see what happens when he gets targets, right?
Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Targets equals catches equals yards. Yeah.
Simple math.
See, that makes sense. Let's get to another call. Shout out to Theo, by the way. I love that.
Thank you for that. That made a lot of sense, Jeff.
Yeah. Who's on the line, Brandon? Who do we got?
Coach Mike Jones from Jackson, Michigan.
Mike Jones. Welcome to the
Yeah,
show.
what's up,
Welcome to the
man?
show, man. What's on your
Good.
mind?
Thank you, man. First of all, I just want to say the Lions is going to win on Sunday because I just paid for some expensive-ass playoff tickets on resale. So just to get in the building, it was a whole lot, man. So they winning. But first off, man, they just can't lose in Week 16 to a third-string quarterback.
Right.
Like, if you a legit playoff team, you cannot lose to a third-string quarterback, not in Week 16. You got to have your shit together, man, because I'm a D-line coach. I'm a high school varsity D-line coach.
Mm-hmm.
We are not letting that QB get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get on him ASAP. So yeah, man. Another thing I want to say is this is the Jones Bowl coming up because the Detroit Lions, not to get off, so Detroit Lions go to Cowboy Stadium, which is my dad's team, the other Mike Jones, and then my dad's other team is the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Ooh.
You know, so. Yeah, so it is going to be a lot of hostility in Mike Jones' household. But yeah, coming up, man. So I just because I'm a Wolverine. I'm the King Wolverine. I'm the one who gave Braylon, Ermanni, and Maz the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm a Wolverine.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So I want to say that it's going down. It's going down. The Lions are going to win this weekend. The score is going to be 30-14. They're going to make that quarterback real uncomfortable real early.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. I think pressuring Nick Mullins, I mean, he's not a man that's going to consistently overcome that. You know, so I'm with you, Mike Jones. You're spot on. Appreciate the call. And by the way, that household on for that bowl game for Michigan, Alabama, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting.
Oh, man, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it is. My dad's from Alabama.
Yeah, so that makes sense. That makes sense. He has every right. We appreciate you, Mike Jones. You're welcome back anytime, man. Seriously.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate you. You don't really think about it, but he's so spot on. Like, if you're that team, you're not losing to a third string quarterback.
Right.
I like how he put that. That's spot on.
Yeah.
It's very simple that way.
Well, I think us Lions fans and I think the Lions players and coaches, even though they won't necessarily say it outright, I think us fans can, is we should take the gift of not having to play the Kirk Cousins-led offense and just beat them a couple of times. And I'm not saying, and for the record, we wish a clean bill of health on Kirk Cousins for Kirk Cousins. I didn't want him to get hurt, but the fact that he did, it makes it an easier game for the Lions, and the Lions just need to take advantage. Can't lose to Nick Mullins.
Yeah, lock up the playoffs for my guy Mike Jones.
Yeah.
Like he just got playoff tickets. Let's get this thing going quickly. We'll take one more caller before we go to break here. Appreciate everyone for waiting on the phone lines. Brandon, who do we got?
Hey, we got Johnny from Willis, Michigan up next.
Johnny, welcome to the program. What's your thoughts on this weekend's game, Lions-Vikings?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Merry Christmas to y'all.
Yep, same to you.
Yeah, man. I actually just want to say, I mean, I'm a longtime season ticket holder. When I lived in Georgia, I flew up for every game. I live here now, but
I mean, the biggest thing for me from Lions teams in the past, which always would piss me off, is like when they would lose, you would see them all, like the interviews, they were kind of in the locker room, they were bullshitting and laughing and having it's like this team now, watching what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes has put together and seeing when they lose, they're disappointed. And it's like, years past, it felt like I was more disappointed than when they would lose than they were. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now this culture that we have, man, it is like, I'm glad to see that they care just as much as I care. You know what I'm saying? all the way from the top players down to the bottom players, man. It's just a different culture. I get emotional about it when I hear Dan talk because I can't be more thankful for what they brought in with Brad and Dan and giving us something that we can be proud of in Detroit.
Yep.
And I love them, man. This is my guys. I feel like I have a team that I can be proud of, and an ownership I can be proud of, and I just love them, man. I love all the guys, man, and it's something special, man, and everybody should
be thankful because we're built for years' success.
Yeah,
we might not get to the Super Bowl this year,
right?
But next year, the year after, I mean, we're going to be that team that's like the Packers in the past, in the playoffs constantly, and just get used to winning. Enjoy it, man.
Yeah,
it's like a Christmas present, man.
Yeah, it's a hell of a Christmas present, and it's. I agree with everything you said. I think most Lions fans would as well. It's not that it feels different, because you're right, it feels different, but it also looks different, and how they win is different. Like the NFC North, they're going to win a playoff game. We expect them to win. It just feels so much different, and it goes back, and it makes me even more thankful. I think you nailed it right on the head there. You got to see Hard Knocks, and you got to see Dan Campbell and how he operates, and it just makes you love the guy so much more, and it makes sense why these guys play so hard for him.
That Hard Knocks, when at the very first episode when Jamal was actually crying and saying that he's tired of losing, I probably wasn't the only Lions fan that was like, shit, I'm freaking crying. I got to go get some freaking tissue, man. Because it was like, I felt it. Because he was speaking like what I always felt. You know what I'm saying? And I love Jamal. I mean, it sucks. I know every time I buy a jersey, they always get traded.
Mm-hmm.
So, like my wife, Jamal was her favorite player. I get Jamal's jersey last year, gone. So I told her, she's like, well, I want a St. Brown jersey. I was like, fuck you, I ain't getting you no St. Brown jersey. We ain't losing it.
Oh my God.
Hey, I don't blame you. At this point, you gotta do everything you can.
You can't risk
Yeah, man.
You can't risk St. Brown leaving, yeah.
Hey, and Sam, I gotta tell you though, I'm an SEC guy. I'm a diehard Bulldog. I talked to y'all the other day about the season ticket.
Yep.
Man, it's gonna be ugly for the Wolverines, man.
Oh.
I mean,
it's going to be ugly. I don't know how they're favored by 1.5, but I mean, I would be more than willing to bet Sam a bottle of Blue Label on this game, because I think Alabama wins by 14.
14, man.
14.
Just a quick response to that.
I don't see.
No, go ahead.
I think it'll be similar to the Georgia-Michigan game the last time they faced an SEC team. I think Michigan maybe scores 14.
Uh-oh, Sam.
See,
28-14.
Here's the thing, and obviously I respect what Alabama has done in the past, and Nick Saban has built a resume in which he is, in my opinion, the greatest college football coach of all time. My thing is, when it comes to this year's Alabama team, they don't have the skill position players that they did of the past. They don't have a running back like Derrick Henry or a wide receiver like Julio Jones. That's where I think the Michigan defense is more set up to stop the Alabama offense. Obviously, I respect like Dallas Turner or Kool-Aid McKinstry on Alabama's defense. I think that Michigan can win a lower scoring game. I'm gonna ride with my team, but I'm not just saying that because I'm a fanboy. I'm saying that because I think this is one of Saban's worst teams, and I think this is Michigan's best team that they've had since 1997. I really do.
I will give you that, but I could tell you this: that Alabama's defense is 50 times better than Penn State.
50.
They haven't seen a defense like this. They haven't seen a defense like this all year.
Hey, we need you to call back.
It's going to be nasty,
game.
Man.
We need you to call back after that game. That'd be a great.
I definitely will.
All right.
I definitely will.
Definitely
will.
All right, we
all right, y'all. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Be safe and go Lions.
Yes, sir. Same to you, man. We appreciate you. Happy holidays to you as well.
Take care.
Yep, take care. Let's go to break here. When we come back, we'll get into our score prediction. Sorry for anyone waiting on the phone lines there. We tried to get to as many as we can. Great callers, as always. I love talking to the people. It's just it's a different vibe. Like we talk and communicate with the chat. We love the chat, but it's different when the chat gets to call and talk to us directly. It's always fun. All right, let's go to break here. First, Got to hear about our friends from Guardian Alarm. Are they Alabama? Are they as good as Guardian Alarm, their defense?
No, because Guardian Alarm is the most elite defense, and that is why, we are happy to work in partnership with them. And you can let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Let's talk about meat. Literally, Fairway Packing. Let's do it. Fairway Packing is the place to go for all your meats for over 60 years. Fairway Packing. Don't clip that. I'm glad JB's not here. That's clippable. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or you can order online, of course, at fairwaypacking.com. Yeah, that one was a lot of line. That was out of line. You know what's not out of line is this show, because we're having a great show. It's Friday, guys. Celebrate. Happy, holidays. You got the weekend, and Christmas. Next weekend's New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And Lions might lock up. They will lock up the NFC North this Sunday.
Let's go.
It's a great day to be a Lions. It's a great time to be a Lions fan.
What a time.
Let's get into score predictions. Sam Flannel, I'll start with you. How do you see the game playing out? Give me your score prediction.
My final score prediction is Lions 28, Vikings 20. I think it's going to be closer, but I think the Lions offense will be able to get it going for the most part. I think that the Vikings, they'll get some yards throughout the air, but the Lions will force a turnover or two. And I think the deciding play in the game is when I think the Lions will take a 28-20 lead, mostly off the backs of, I think the running game is going to dominate, but I also think Jared Goff will have a good game with Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. I think the Lions will take a 28-20 lead late in the fourth quarter, and that prediction that I made earlier, that the Vikings may be driving down the field, but the game-sealing interception is made by Brian Branch on a throw intended for TJ Hawkinson off of a pressure from Aiden Hutchinson.
Nice.
And that will ultimately seal the game. Give me the Lions 28, the Vikings 20.
I like it. Put your score predictions in the chat. I'll try to read as many as I can after I give mine here. I'm going to go 27-17. I just don't see, and I don't want to jinx this, I don't see a Nick Mullins-led offense this week. Last week, they did score over 20. I think there's some regression here, and it's hard because he almost threw 3 picks. He had 2, almost for a pick 6. I think he gives the ball up, and I do think the Lions running the football can establish time of possession and just control the clock. 27-17, I'm going with the Lions here on the road to lock up the NFC North and clinch a playoff spot. And this is what we've been waiting for. It's an exciting time. And I think they get it done this weekend. I think they take care of Nick Mullins. I do.
Yeah,
and honestly, and sorry to interrupt you, the Brian Flores thing, I talked about it. I think this Lions offense can go out there and shock them. I do.
No, absolutely.
It's different.
Absolutely. I got them doing it in style, man. Give me 30-13 Lions, baby. 30-13.
An ass whooping.
And I think the key is going to be defense. I think AG might have found something last week with this defense. And you can't tell me there is no reason why they can't get to Nick Mullins multiple times in this game. They're going to have a big game. And also, like I said, yeah, you want to run the ball, but the weakness lies in that Vikings secondary. So I expect Jared Goff to utilize that play action and to get downfield, man. And the Lions are going to celebrate that division win, man. So, yeah, 30-13 Lions. Let's go.
What about you, Brandon? What do you got?
I was thinking 31-17, man. I really think, like KG was saying, like I said earlier with my who needs to step up on defense, I really think AG is going to coax at least a turnover or two. And I'm hoping to see them get one of these turnovers go for a touchdown as well. 31-17. Go in there into Minnesota, win this thing on their home field, and then honestly, don't press cruise control. I want to see this team continue to push to try and get as high a seed as they can get going into these playoffs.
All right, and listen, guys are cooking. KG and Brandon in lockstep here. They see an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. We'll get to some of the people here. Commenting, Sappy Johnson says Lions 23, Vikings 17. 101 Dead Puppies. Wow, what a name. Ooh. Lions 27, Vikings 10. Nick says Lions 27, 17. Vikings, bada bing, bada boom. Lions 31-13. Freddie Felt. Shout out Freddie, by the way. He's a real one. He says Lions 28, Vikings 17. We run the North. Eduardo, Minnesota always plays us close. It'll be 21-17. There you go. Eduardo's pick. Dante, 34-17 Lions. Anthony Nicholson says 42-12.
Oh, man.
Jeff, nice name, by the way. 27-20 Detroit. Max Mayer, Lions 24, Vikings 17. You related to Michael Mayer? Anyway, let's see. Eduardo O'Neill, Lions 24, Vikings 21. Funky says Laporta will have 130 and a tutty. If he does, Funky, one step closer to 2,000-yard backs and 2,000-yard receivers.
He's the one that's the furthest away. So if he has a $130, then I'm thinking the 2,000-yard rushers and 2,000-yard receivers is very much in play.
It's doable. Yeah. Coach Walk 84-3. Sandra says 32-26. Cody Reed 34-17. The real K Collins 31-10 Lions. OGFV Gaming 30-10. Re-rolling now. Joseph says Lions dominate and win out. Super Bowl champs. Okay. Damn. Wesley Ritter says 34-7. Only TD for Jettas because fantasy. Okay, you know what? I respect that. Jim 3, 31-27. Lunchbox Hooligans, Lions 43-16. Hutch has 4 sacks, and one of them's a forced fumble return for a TD.
There we go.
There you go. Lucas Klotz put his in there, too. 31-20, good guys. Okay. Shout out Klotz, by the way. That's a ball knower. Let's see. Q-Ball 93, Lions 42, Vikings 21. There you go. Matt says Lions a gazillion, Vikings 0.
There we go. There we go.
I love that. Jordan, Lions 38-13. T-Stay Cold, Lions 35-17. A lot of blowouts, man. KG and Brandon, they're with you guys. They are. Gritville says 42-14. Dat Boy Roy, 34. Vikings 21. John Moore, 27-20. Lions. Fizzy says 34-27. Lions dub. Tiffany, 24-27. Lions by a field goal. There you go. Orlando Fields. Lions 38-35. High-scoring game. Damn. Mike Bell, 27-17. Lions. Lions Troll, 42-17. Back-to-back games.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
There you go. People putting in their scores. John Moore says comes down to one turnover advantage, 27-20. C-Note 313, 28-10 Lions. Our defense going to shut them down. Dante, 27-13 Lions. And there you go. Jeff Olson, Bucks passed the torch to the Lions as NFC North champions this weekend, 31-20. There you go. Denzel, 63-17 Lions with a blowout. I see a lot of those, like 84, 63.
Yeah.
I want it to come true, selfishly.
Someday.
Like, come on, score 70. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's see. Cue ball, 128-7.
All right. If you can't get that Lions, then you might as well not even come home, right?
Yeah. Brett says Lions 24-23. Tony D 48-24. People appreciate you guys putting your scores in the chat. Can't get to all of them. That's a majority of them. Again, a lot of people feel like it'll be a blowout. Some people feel like it'll be a close game. Of course, I want it to be a blowout. I think it'll be a 10-point game. I got 27-17. So we'll see. Lions, we all have them winning, though. Confidence. And I don't know if that's a jinx or not, but go Lions. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get into a little more of this discussion, and then we'll get to of course, mailbag. So there you go. But before we do that, though, Sam, could you tell people maybe where they should celebrate winning an NFC North champion?
Yes, you can do that at Dispo, of course. And it's also, you can experience the Dispo Christmas Extravaganza. Experience the Dispo difference this Christmas season. Dispo is giving away a TV as well as 2 $100 in-store gift cards per week at participating locations for the month of December. Nobody does it like the Dispo family. Unwrap the joy of Dispo Dispensary every week. Join them in celebrating for the holidays. See store for more details. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Let's get to some more people. They're just commenting, so I want to get to as many people kind of chiming in as much as I can. People putting score predictions out there. Big M says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Hopefully we can enjoy a Lions win on Sunday. Would be a great win to kick off the joyous time of Christmas. Take care of family, and God bless One Pride. Well said, Big M. Again, for everybody over the weekend, man, I hope you guys have a great holiday. Great Christmas. It's a great time. At least for Lions fans. Maybe not for Pistons fans. You know, it's a different, we'll put that to the side. But Lions have given everyone so much joy that the Pistons can't break us right now. They can't. We're too locked into the Lions season.
This is a football town anyway, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even when the Lions are not good, some people would rather just discuss Lions.
Yeah.
Like, especially with my experience being in this business. It is a football town. Let's see. Jordan says people are going to have to travel for this game regardless of the holidays. We have a shot to clinch the division. People will be there. Yeah, F the holiday. Travel to Minnesota. I bet a lot – Lions fans have done a great job traveling all year. I could see a lot of Lions fans being like, this is their Christmas present, going down to Minnesota.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Like they might take it as like a family, that's the football family that might be like, hey, guys, let's go out to Minnesota on Sunday. We'll be back for Christmas on Monday.
Yeah.
Or even come back that night. Hell.
Shoot, I would take no presents for that.
Hell yeah.
Like, honestly, yeah, for sure.
Hell
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Jordan says, Jeff, Sam, who wins on Christmas night since you won't be live that day?
Christmas night.
Who plays?
I'm looking that up right now.
We'll answer that one. Mike Reed says, Merry Christmas to everyone at Woodward Sports. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well, Mike.
Merry Christmas.
Eduardo says, driving 20 hours to witness history. Let's get it going. Eduardo, you're a legend. You're a legend. You're driving 20 hours?
Damn.
Yep.
You're a real one.
Yeah, Christmas Day, there's actually 3 matchups. You got Well, there's a couple that play the Giants play at Philadelphia. Obviously, I would think we would all think the Eagles are going to win that game. And then the big one though is Baltimore at San Francisco. I mean, those are two games that
great games.
Could help.
Super Bowl preview.
A Super Bowl preview, and also if a certain couple of teams decide to wet the bed that day, maybe the Lions opens things up for the 2 seed, the 1 seed, or something like that. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that Lions fans, I think, will be keyed in on those games.
Yeah, if you win this weekend, you want Baltimore to beat the 49ers.
Absolutely.
Even though I might think differently, you're still rooting for the Ravens there for that 1 seed. Because they got the Rams at the end of the year, too, the 49ers.
Yeah.
So if they're playing this well.
Looking a lot tougher of a game than maybe we thought at midseason.
We'll see. Donovan Strong, wouldn't it be amazing if the Lions went on a historic run to win the Super Bowl to offset the historic Pistons losing streak?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. You know what, Donovan? I'm with you. It has to happen. For the entire season, what we've had to endure this Pistons season, it's got to be, right? It's got to be a Super Bowl run. Has to be. Justin Station, San Fran, Baltimore is going to be a good one for parlays. I'm with you, Justin. Lost last night from 2 yards from Cooper Kupp. He needed 53.5 over it. He ended with 52. So it costed me a couple $100. It's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Franco says, I just hope both teams have fun. I love that comment. Let's more comments coming in too. Andrew, give me 4 TDs between Sun God and Laporta for a Christmas fantasy win. I got Sun God and Laporta too on my roster. Andrew, I'm with you. Big game from those two. I know last week I won because of those two. So
4 combined TDs for them. Hey, they did it last week. It's possible. I'm not calling for it, but that would be spectacular.
Let's see, 313. Let's eat Lions. Good morning, gentlemen. All the way from LA. I'm new to the channel. Love the content. Happy holidays, guys. Let's eat Lions. Shout out to you, 313, all the way out in LA.
Man, getting up early. I love it.
Getting up early to watch the show. We appreciate you, man. Seriously, we love you. And I'm glad you're a Lions fan out there in LA. Still watching our content. That is big time. Can you tell the Rams to lose, though? Could you send that message for me? Okay, thank you. Just tell the Rams to keep losing. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. Thank you. That is all. Jordan, I got Sun God, Goff, Laporta, and Monty. Jesus. Wow. So you're live or die by this Lions offense, depending on how well they play.
I had a good day last week against.
Yeah, he definitely won last week.
Yeah,
Jared 5 touchdowns.
Probably not against the Bears though, but that's all right. The more good days than bad if you have Lions players on your fantasy team.
It's not too big of a deal. Because Lions offense, they have been playing well most of the year, so at least you got that going for you. I typically don't stack guys in the same roster, but as a Lions fan, I had to get Laporta and St. Brown.
Sure.
I just had to.
Very smart.
All right, guys, let's go to break here. Get the questions ready. We'll try and get to as many as we can for mailbag. Whether if you want to ask me about the Pistons, go ahead. I don't see why you would. But regardless, ask about Lions, anything else. If it's unrelated to sports, that's okay too. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Sean and Rachel, shout out to you guys from Bakersfield. Go Lions. Thank you, Sean and Rachel. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Real quick, though, got to hear about our friends from Lady Jane's.
Yes.
The great Lady Jane's.
Oh, yes, Lady Jane's, where I get these A-plus haircuts from the A-plus stylist. And this morning, it's really on and popping, Lady Jane's. Getting your before Christmas Day haircuts, and you can, too. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked!
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Let me tell you about our friends over at Les Stanford Chevrolet, because what happens when you're running a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to what? More people. Of course, this is exactly what Les Stanford has been doing by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Sorry, it's a group chat. Lucas, he's funny. He is funny. All right, let's get to mailbag. Let's try to get to as many questions as we can. They're coming in already, so we'll try to read them off here. Brian Root says Sewell TD plus 3,000. Yeah, you know what? Why not?
Do you think this is the type of game where they can do gadgety stuff like that? I don't know if this, maybe week 18. I'd probably say week 18 would be the Sewell touchdown, but hey, if it happens, it happens. I'd love it.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Or Lucas Klotz, Malcolm Rodriguez, anytime TD. Maybe that comes alive. He's been preaching about that all year. Dat Boy Roy says, Mailbag Sam, how do you feel about Jim possibly leaving for the NFL or for both? Or for both? What do you think about the Tigers' offseason so far?
I would love Jim Harbaugh to stay at Michigan. I think that he has the chance to build. I don't know if there's a perfect job in the NFL for him to go to. I know the Bears would be an attractive one, but I don't know if they're going to fire Eberflus. I just think what he could end up building at Michigan is just such a great legacy that is beyond reproach. And as far as the Tigers offseason, I mean, I guess Jack Flaherty is their big name signing, the pitcher who used to play for the Cardinals. He had some good years. He looked like he was one of the up-and-comers. Maybe he was going to win a Cy Young in St. Louis, but last year had a very down season. If he can regain his old form, it would be great, but I just don't know. He's still young enough, though, I think, to figure it out. I didn't hate it.
Bada bing, bada boom, mailbag. Where do babies come from?
When mommy and daddy love each other. Is that we have to do that now?
Yeah.
Distort, man.
Yeah. You know what? I might have to do a breakdown of that for you. Bada bing, bada boom. I'll do a whole separate breakdown for you. That would have to be filmed. Maybe we'll do a segment on that on Tuesday. F it. You know what? Yeah. Let's just run it. Let's just run a sex ed. Let's just run a sex ed segment. Why not? We'll teach you the whole bird and bees BS. All right. Jeff Olson, what's your ideal pathway through the playoffs for the Lions? Ideal? They face the Vikings. I would take ideal. The only opponent I don't want, and it's not like I'm terrified. I just don't want the story. I just don't want to talk about it. Is the Rams? I just don't want to deal with that. I don't, because if they win, of course it would be great. We'd talk about it, but if they lose, it's not worth it for me to have to sit there and break down a Matthew Stafford and Jared's former team beating the Lions at Ford Field. I don't want to go through that. So I'm cool with that. If you get the Eagles, I would prefer that over the 49ers. So
that's
because then you get to torch Matt Patricia's defense.
Yes, that's tough. I don't want to go too far. I'm just going to go with the first round matchup. I would say the ideal first round matchup would be the second place in the NFC South, because I think what the Lions can do is they can knock the Vikings out of playoff consideration when the second place team in the NFC South could end up getting it. That would be my ideal matchup for me.
Edward O'Neill, mailbag. Do we remember what happened last time the Lions played in Minnesota? Dan needs to get out of his own way and not cost us another divisional game.
That was kind of before they found their stride, though. That was the beginning of last year. I'm not going to use
He
that
is right,
game.
though. That game was bad.
They had a chance to win that game.
And they also had, who was the safety?
Oh,
who isn't on the team?
Was it like Juju Hughes or whatever?
Juju Hughes. Yep, he got torched for KJ Osborne's last touchdown that sealed the game.
Yeah. Juju Hughes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that guy was real. Like
Juju
I thought that
Hughes. He's a character. He's a video game character.
I'm not trying to be like me and Juju Hughes made the NFL. Good for him. But we had like a Juju Hughes and a Mike Hughes, and for a while I didn't even know they were different players. Like Juju was his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, shout out Juju Hughes. Hope you're doing well in life.
Juju Hughes. Cody Reed, FanDuel at St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs, and Demont. Anytime touchdown scores for 4,600. 4,667. St. Brown, Laporta, Gibbs, and Demont all scoring. Wow.
Ooh.
I think Demont, I said this last week, but hey, he didn't score. I think he scores this week. I mean, because it's been 2 games without a TD.
If they get it inside the 3, I think they'll just keep handing it off to David Montgomery. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
I think he gets a TD this week. Nick says, Mailbag, do you think that there will be a movie made about the Lions if they win the Super Bowl this year? Do you have to?
Yes.
Yeah. Have to, yes. I'm with you, Nick, yeah. ESPN, they take that and run with it.
Who plays Dan Campbell?
I don't even.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hey, I like it.
I think he's the only one I will accept, KG, I think. Because he could pull it off. I think it'd have to be Stone Cold.
God, I don't even know. Yeah, but Stone Cold by then might be too old. I don't know. But if they win one this year, then they can make a movie within the next few years, and Stone Cold can be young enough still to play Dan Campbell.
Who would play MCDC? KG, who do you think?
I'm trying to rack my brain, man. I can't really think of anybody. Stone Cold was a good one though.
Easy says Denzel plays MCDC. Hey, Denzel should play AG. Denzel, it has to be in the movie. I'm with Easy.
Ryan Gosling is Ben Johnson.
yeah, or you could be Jared.
Yeah,
you could be Jared too.
Oh yeah, Jared. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
I actually have somebody who could play MCDC if they make this movie many years from now. How about Alan Rickman, the guy who was Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State?
Yes.
Kind of like an older version of him.
He could pull it off too. You need like he'd probably be the hardest guy to cast to try and find someone to cast for. You need someone that's like 6'4", at least 200 pounds, 230 pounds.
It might not be a movie, but it'll definitely be a 30 for 30. Absolutely.
Yeah,
30 for 30. Let's see. Speakeasy says, Mailbag, if you could switch lives with any athlete, but you had to beat them in a fight, who would it be? Oh gosh. If I had to beat them in a fight, there's not too many athletes I have to.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah, no, even Jared.
He might have the hands, man.
He might have
the
the
small hands
too.
fast.
Yeah. Man, that's a good one. Maybe Kevin Hart. I don't know. James says Kevin Hart is Gibbs, so I just stole that. I think I could take Kevin Hart. Oh no, Kevin Hart's jacked though. He's in good shape, but he's short. It's got to be somebody that you could pause on this, but take advantage of. With the hands, nothing else. With the hands, had to be someone you have the advantage over.
Nate Robinson.
That's a good one. Nate Robinson. He'd still whoop my ass though. Like they're all athletes. Like which athlete are you? Come on, like be serious. What athlete are you actually whooping?
Sam is thinking Ben Wallace.
Yeah. No, I would probably go with like Rory McIlroy or somebody like that. Or if you're going maybe like Younghoe Koo or whatever, Youngwei Koo or the kicker for the Falcons.
So we're going
after
kickers. We'd have to.
Yeah, something like that.
I think we'd have to target kickers because any other player that actually plays snaps is in better shape and probably bigger.
Is Rodrigo Blankenship still in the NFL? I think I could take Rodrigo Blankenship. Or
yeah, that's a tough one.
Or like when the Gramatica brothers were in the NFL, like Martine and Bill Gramatica. I think I could take one of them.
Herb Nash says Kadarius Toney, no hands. That's fair.
That's actually fair.
You know what? You're onto something there. Yeah, I think when Easy asked me this question, I said Trae Young. But then I thought about it. He's still like, I know he's short in NBA terms, but he's still like 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, so like it's a pretty even matchup if you think about it. It's not as I don't have the advantage as much as I thought initially.
It's a decent one though, Trae Young.
It's not bad, but that's a great question, Easy. That's a great question. I can't even think of one.
Easy
to be honest
in the chat being out of pocket, of course, but I know he's joking. I'm not.
Easy says Lucas says Justin Tucker. Yeah, we'll go with him. Why not? But he'd probably still whoop your ass, Lucas. I'm not even lying.
I think
there.
Justin Tucker would whoop some ass.
All right, let's
Adam Vinatieri.
Hey, don't forget our Laporta jersey winner.
Oh, let's do that. Okay, announce the Laporta jersey winner. I got it. And I'm going to give this out because, again, that's all the comments. You guys don't give out jerseys. Well, we're going to announce the winner right now. We do it live. All right. The winner of the Sam Laporta jersey is, and I'll give his X out, at Dylan H6969, Detroit Lions superfan. If you're tuning in, where can he go to win this, to get this jersey? Is he DM the Woodward account?
Tell him to DM the Woodward account.
Okay. And
we'll
it's
get them the info.
only on the. Don't be slick and try to DM the account. Say I won. No, we know who won. We have the name. It's Dylan H6969, Detroit Lions super fan. Congratulations, you won the Sam Laporta jersey. So enjoy that. Hopefully, hold on to it. Might have some value because he's gonna continue to be a damn good player. All right, there's the winner. If you're tuning in, sweet. If not, they're gonna reach out to you directly and tell you won. So stick around for that. Stay tuned for that. Check your DMs. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend from the Morning Woodward Show crew. Jeff Iafrate, Sam Flannel, of course, Brandon Dent, and Ken G. KG, now on Woodward Nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'll be on the show tonight, Fridays with Jeff, so check that out as well. And again, JB, feel better. He probably could have came back today, but he should take the whole week off, man. He's the hardest worker here, and he's going to enjoy this weekend with his family, and he'll be back next week. So we love you, JB. So blessings to you. And by the way, blessings to everybody and all their families this weekend. It's Christmas. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Lions game. Please be safe out there. Happy holidays. And don't forget the rest of the programming here on Woodward Sports. Big D Energy coming up next, 11 to 1. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, 2 to 4. Heavyweights, 5 to 7. And then close your night out with Woodward Nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Until Tuesday, Monday will be a best of show for everybody. So no one's going to be live Monday, but Tuesday, we're back, and I'm ready for it. It's going to be a great show. See you guys. Happy holidays. We love you. Take care. Deuces.
Peace. Punt the Pistons to the moon.